It's your art teacher, Miss Barnett. And this week we've been learning about bust, portrait bust. That is a three-dimensional artwork that shows the face, the neck, and part of the shoulders. And we're going to be using clay today to create our own bust. So you're going to need about a pound of clay, some clay tools. So I've got a wooden knife here, and this has this kind of nice little tool here, but you can do the same thing with your thumb. I've got some loops, a plastic knife, and this is a scoring tool. You could also use a plastic fork because guess what? These are expensive and I don't have enough to go around. So we're going to also need, besides that, some slip. And slip is like clay glue. So it's a little bit of clay, some water, and a little touch of distilled vinegar. So you're going to gather your materials when we're done with the demo and get started. But first we need to ask ourselves some questions. So the first question you're going to want to answer in your brain is, who will the subject of your portrait bust be? You could do yourself or you could do someone else in the classroom. It's your choice. Remember, subject is what the art is about. Secondly, how large are you going to make your portrait bust? We don't have enough clay to go life size. So think about how the proportions of the neck and the head are going to relate to one another. And what proportions will you use to make your bust look realistic? And we'll talk about that in just a minute. I'll show you how to practice. What textures will you create to capture your subject's expression and personality? So remember the last two lessons we've been talking about how the eyes and the mouth and the eyebrows change depending on our expression. So keep that in mind as you're working today. Now what I want you to do for practice is we're going to use our fingers to measure the proportions of the face. So here's my face. Halfway, let's see, how many face hand lengths is my head? 1, 2, about 2.5, 3. My eyes, remember, fall in the middle of my face. If you look, there's the top, there's the bottom. My nose, how many eye widths do I have? So if I use my finger gently, that's about the width of my eye. It's about the width from this side to this side, between my eyes, and over here. My finger is about the length of my nose, and my first knuckle is the length between my lips and my nose. So use your hands to kind of figure out. So after you've done those two things, go ahead and we're going to move on to how to make the bust. Here we go. I also forgot to mention that you're going to need a clay mat to work today. So let me move my slip and my tools off the mat so I can show you how to start. We're going to take our clay, and you could either make it a block or a cylinder shape. I'm going to go ahead and roll it into a cylinder shape. So I'm going to start with my fingertips, and I'm going to roll the clay to the bottom of my hand. And then I'm going to pick it up, press it, and roll it again. I'm not going back. Do you notice I'm not going back and forth? I'm doing one roll. Good. This looks pretty, that's pretty, it won't take a long time. Don't do that. That's a no-no, remember? Good. If you start to get a crack in there, you can take a little bit of your slip and just rub it out like that. Good. This looks like a pretty good cylinder. Awesome. So now the next step we're going to do is we're going to pinch. Remember pinching? We're going to pinch the clay to form the neck and the shoulders. This, I don't know how to say neck, but say it loud, maybe. So we're going to pinch to make the neck. I'm pinching it with equal pressure, equalmente pressure the whole way around. We're making the neck. Good. We don't want to make it too little or too thin, or it won't support the head. Okay, and then we can round the head. Let's make this more round. Good. Now we're going to press the shoulders down to make that shoulder shape. Press them down to make the shoulder shape. So far I've got the head, the neck, and the shoulders. Remember, I pressed, I pinched, and I rounded. Cool. Good deal. Looks pretty good so far. Make sure that it can support its own weight. Good deal. And that's about the shape that we're going for here. Good. Now we're going to use our thumbs and our fingers to shape the facial features. So let's start with the eyes. Remember, the eyes are about halfway. We might want to take a tool. We could take a tool very gently and put some guidelines. So our eyes are going to fall in here. I'm going to pinch the space in for the eyes because your eyes recede. They go backwards in space. Good. Let's make the nose. Think about the cheeks, maybe. Okay, I've done the indentions for some of this. Now we can add some clay to make the facial features. Here we go. Okay, friends, so I'm going to add a little bit of clay to make the nose. So I'm going to pinch it into that shape. Check the size. Remember, we're thinking about the sizes compared to one another. Oh, we can't just stick it on there though. What did I forget to do? I forgot to score and slip. So you would use your scoring tool or your fork to make it a little rough. Ragazzo, necesitas usando slip. You got to use the slip. We're going to make it a little wet. And then we're going to add, we got to score and slip this part too. It's like Velcro. Slip it. Then we're going to press and wiggle. Let's make a mouth. Score. Slip. A little bit's going to go a long way because this is not a big face. Oh, don't forget, we got to score and slip this piece. Score, slip. Wiggle it till it stays. Good. Score, slip. blend it in so it's nice and smooth. Let's add some eyeballs. Score. Score. And slip. You could use the tips of tools to add some details. He's going to need some ears too. Score. Slip. Score. The ears fall halfway between the eyes and the nose. We're going to look at both sides while we're shaping the ears. And then we can add. So let's take a look. Are our proportions realistic? I think so. Have you, what expression have you shown? He's kind of looking like surprised. And what other details and textures can you add? So we're going to add some textures for the eyebrows and the hair and the clothes. So we can take our knife tool or a pencil and very gently add lines for the hair, curved lines maybe, whatever you prefer. My friend's gonna have shorter hair. You could add more to make long hair. And then let's add his eyebrows. And maybe a shirt. One thing that I did not show you to do that I want to remind you to do, because it'll be very difficult, is you're going to take a pencil and without pushing the whole way through, you're going to make a hole. And this is so the clay can dry from the inside out as well as from the outside in. So there is my, and we want to smooth these edges or we'll get a rough spot. Don't forget to write your name and your class code on your artwork. And there's my bust. We'll let him dry and I'll fire him and I'll show you what he looks like when he's done.